I deleted my personal Facebook account. I'm going to discuss whether or not it was worth it and my thoughts about it all this time later. Let's do it.
So it's been 2 years since I got off Facebook and I have absolutely zero regrets about it. I've been talking to a few friends about this recently and I want to put some of those myths to rest, because I think a lot of people make excuses why they don't want to get off it, even though they really do want to get off Facebook. So I'm not here to convince you of getting off it is better for your particular situation. Everybody's in a different situation, but I know for what I do each and every day, getting off it has been fantastic. So the first thing I want to discuss is the Messenger app. This might be the biggest con job in the history of apps. A lot of people say, I don't want to get off Facebook because the Messenger app is great. I can message my friends. But if you don't already realize, you're on a phone most of the time, or you might be on a laptop, for example. But if you're on a phone, you can simply text message your friends. You can download WhatsApp, which I guess is owned by Facebook, but you don't need Facebook for it. And that's a secure messaging platform, unlike Facebook. So I would say and encourage you to make an effort to download these other apps. And after a few days, you won't think twice about it. The benefit of going this particular route is anytime a friend actually wants to reach out to you, you'll get a message. Now, if you've been on Facebook since like 2008 or 9 or 10 or whenever, odds are you've got, oh, spider, odds are you've got a whole lot of photos and videos and you've been tagged in a million different photos. You gotta ask yourself whether or not being tagged in a million different photos is a good thing. Now, some people are a little bit more sentimental about, you know, their past instead of looking towards the future. And that's fair enough. If you're like that, go for it. But in my particular case, being tagged in a lot of photos didn't make my life any more fulfilled. It actually did the opposite. I didn't want everybody knowing where I was. And I know you can control all that kind of stuff, but it's just another step to keep you on the platform, to keep you entangled by having to untag yourself or request removals, all that kind of stuff. It may have changed since back then, but yeah, over the last 2 years, man, I haven't missed any of that. So this opens up a lot more time in the day. I think people may spend more time looking at Messenger or their notifications or Facebook pages in general than they may have realized during the day. And it's such a huge time waste. If you add up all of the time you spend looking at pointless shit for, you know, even the course of a week or two or a month, wow, that time could be better, way better spent doing almost anything else. Man, these flies are driving me crazy. Now, what I find hilarious, and one of the things that Facebook does, it tries to emotionally blackmail you into staying on Facebook. It does this by showing photos of your close friends. They generally get that right, but not all of the time. And then they also show you memories from your past. So this is a twofold thing, right? These memories, you can download them in an archive. You can create an archive, download all of your photos and videos. And I was on there for a very long time. I had a lot of photos and videos. I downloaded that archive. I've not opened it up once, because I already had a lot of those photos on my hard drive anyway. So it was like, why have I got all of this stuff on Facebook as well as on my computer? Now, a lot of people might think, hey, it could be a redundancy thing. Imagine your computer gets stolen or lost or whatever. What are you gonna do? So all of that stuff, I already have backed up on Microsoft OneDrive and also on the Google Images, the personal one. So it's, you know, a private account. It doesn't cost you anything. Now, some people might say, oh, that's, you know, unsecure or whatever. You can have that argument. It really isn't. But the difference is it's my account. So I don't have everybody looking at it. So yeah, I'm really confused on why I was doing that. Sure, I think it was more so like a look at what I was doing at that particular time kind of thing. It's great when people travel to see some of their photos, but one of my friends is in Nashville right now, and odds are I'm going to get some photos about her trip, because she knows the easiest way to do that is just to message them to me, you know, on my phone through WhatsApp, and that's going to work. It's really, it's like more personable as well. So have a think about that. If you're thinking the emotional blackmail is going to get you, First time you see that screen, you'll fall for it. The second time, you'll fall for it less. And by the third time, I reckon you'll probably go, you know what, I've had enough of this. All of these people make an effort to get their phone numbers if you don't already have them, but odds are if they're your close friends, you already have it. So keep that in mind. Now, I get the appeal to social networks as well, right? So don't get me wrong, I spend quite a lot of time on YouTube, but it's what I do for a living. So for me, that makes a bit more sense. Facebook, on the other hand, served no purpose whatsoever to my business unless I was actually promoting posts. So I don't recommend using a Facebook strategy at all. It's the ultimate treadmill. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. There's plenty of other platforms out there that can promote your business for free that actually work, that you can spend far less time. So unless you've got a Facebook only business strategy, it's an absolute waste of your efforts. Don't do it. Now, it can't be all bad, right? I do think there's a target audience for Facebook. I think may make you laugh. I think it's older people who might have retired, or people who may have been married for a long time, who aren't married and they want to see photos of their kids or something like that. I kind of get it in that regard, right? So there's not always a straight line of communication with, you know, someone who you may have been married to or had kids with, and the only way you can see photos easily and unobtrusively maybe is to be on Facebook. So in that sort of situation, I get it. And if you love seeing all of your friends' babies' photos and all that kind of stuff, then sure, go for it. I think when Facebook was new, I felt like it was an easy way to connect with people. And over time, it went from an easy way to connect with people to connecting less with people. And that just was so confusing, being that it was a platform called a social network. It was like the opposite, like an unsociable network. So would I recommend getting off Facebook for your own mental state of mind, your own professional goals or personal goals, whatever it may be? Absolutely. Again, if you're the kind of person that complains about their weight, get off Facebook and go for a walk. Start taking small steps to achieve a greater goal. These are the things that will make you feel so much better than sitting around waiting for something to happen on a platform where no one's really chatting to each other.